All right, everyone, hold on tight because today we're diving into 8 essential grocery items you'll want to stock up on before November ends. With prices climbing and store shelves looking less dependable by the day, especially in this climate of political uncertainty and global instability, it's time to get serious about preparation. No matter your political stance, the unease of this season means we should all think ahead. We're not talking about small inconveniences. We're looking at significant shortages and soaring costs for the everyday essentials. Inflation isn't just a headline anymore. According to the latest USDA data, food prices have jumped nearly 25% in the last year, with no signs of cooling off. Global supply chains are still strained, and major crop failures across the globe, driven by climate extremes, are pushing us into uncharted territory. Droughts and extreme weather are hitting essential crops hard, from grains to vegetable oils, and we're already feeling the impact at our local stores. Think back to the empty shelves of 2020. This could potentially be even more severe. And with election season ramping up, the added layer of political tension could worsen the situation. So, let's get into the list, starting with butter. Yes, butter. This isn't just about adding a bit of flavor to your toast. It's about securing a staple while it's still somewhat affordable. Right now, you can still grab butter without breaking the bank, but that might not last much longer. Butter prices have surged nearly 30% over recent months in the US, and here's why. Rising dairy feed costs, labor shortages, and spiking transportation fees are hitting the dairy industry hard. Add to that a growing global demand for dairy fats, and you can see why every time you pass by a block of Kerrygold or Land O'Lakes, that price you see today may be history by next month. Why is butter so crucial? It's more than just taste, though let's be honest, butter makes everything taste 10 times better. Butter is rich in essential fats, hard to substitute in cooking, and an absolute powerhouse ingredient for frying, baking, or adding a bit of richness to meals. It's high calorie and morale boosting, two things that become essential if times get tough. And here's the best part. Butter stores incredibly well in the freezer, lasting up to a year with no loss in quality. So even if dairy prices double soon, and trust me, there's a good chance they might, having a freezer stocked with butter will feel like gold. Take action now. Grab a few extra pounds, toss them in the freezer, and thank yourself later when you're not paying double for the same block of butter. Cheese blocks. Next up, let's talk about cheese. Whole blocks, not the pre-shredded lower quality stuff. Think Tillamook or Cabot. Cheese prices are already spiking, and this may only be the beginning, especially with holiday demand putting extra pressure on dairy. If you're thinking of getting by with a few slices, consider this. The cost of producing cheese is through the roof, with prices for dairy feed, energy, and transportation all climbing steadily. On top of that, unpredictable weather is impacting dairy farms nationwide, making cheese one of the next big-ticket items. Experts are warning that cheese prices could jump another 15 to 20% in the next few months, which means if you think a block of cheddar is pricey now, just wait. Whole blocks of cheese are a smart choice for storage. They last longer than pre-shredded cheese because they're exposed to less air and don't contain extra preservatives. You can even freeze them to extend their shelf life by 6 months or more. And when you've got real cheese on hand, you have options. Grate it for homemade pizzas, melt it over potatoes, add it to soups, or slice it up for a quick, satisfying snack. In tough situations, a block of cheese isn't just a snack. It's a valuable source of fat, protein, and comfort. Imagine a time when cheese is scarce, and it becomes a luxury instead of a staple. You don't want to be stuck paying double or hunting for it in stores when it's almost impossible to find. Grab a few blocks now, wrap them up, and store them in a cool, dry place, or better yet, in the freezer. If nothing drastic happens, you'll still have delicious, high-quality cheese to enjoy whenever you want. Stock up on whole cheese blocks. Now here's a fact. When supplies tighten, you'll be glad you stocked up on real cheese. And by real, we're talking about whole blocks like Tillamook or Cabot, not the processed, pre-shredded stuff that dries out fast. Think back to the early days of COVID. Grocery shelves were emptied, and essentials became a treasure hunt. Back then, cheese prices shot up by over 30%, and people scrambled to grab whatever was left. Fast forward to today, and it's a similar scene. Inflation is surging, dairy costs are rising, and labor shortages aren't letting up. Imagine blocks of cheese becoming a luxury item. just like high-end meats or imports. During the holiday season, demand will be high, creating a perfect storm for even higher prices. Whole cheese blocks aren't just convenient, they're essential. They store better, last longer, and keep their moisture and flavor better than shredded cheese. If you're concerned about shelf life, here's a tip. Cheese blocks freeze well. Just toss them in your freezer, and they'll stay good for 6 months or more. This way, you can secure your supply now, before prices explode, and have a high protein, high fat food on hand when others are scrambling. Whole blocks of cheese are incredibly versatile too. Remember, during COVID, we all had to get creative with our cooking. A block of cheddar or mozzarella can turn plain pasta into a hearty meal, add richness to any casserole, or give you a satisfying, filling snack. And when things feel uncertain, a warm, cheesy dish can be a huge comfort. You don't realize how much you appreciate having a little cheese on hand until it's tough to find. Canned beef and chicken meat prices are climbing relentlessly. The USDA is already signaling a 5.5% increase in beef prices and at least a 3.3% rise for poultry. And let's face it, this isn't just a minor fluctuation. Droughts are hitting cattle farms hard, feed prices are spiking, and supply chains are stretched thin. Remember the early days of COVID when meat aisles were wiped clean in a matter of days? If you didn't have a backup, you were either paying a premium or going without. Those who stocked up on canned meats back then were the smart ones. While others were caught in the scramble, paying double for whatever scraps were left, those with canned meat on hand were ahead of the game. Now brands like Keystone and Hormel aren't just providing canned meat. They're offering high-quality, fully cooked protein that could make all the difference when fresh meat becomes a luxury. Canned meat has an impressive shelf life, anywhere from 2 to 5 years if stored properly. This means you can have a stockpile ready long after fresh meat is priced out of reach. And let's talk versatility. You can add canned meat to stews, casseroles, soups, or throw it on bread for a quick sandwich. In tough times, every meal counts, and these cans are the ultimate survival food, high in protein, long-lasting, and always ready, waiting to see if prices might drop or if supply chains magically resolve. That's wishful thinking. Every month these prices keep climbing, and more people are catching on. Soon the shelves could be wiped out, and what's left will cost a fortune. So, take this seriously. Stock up on canned beef and chicken now. Don't wait until you're left empty-handed while everyone else has cleaned out the shelves. This isn't just about prepping, it's about protecting your family's access to essential protein when fresh options start to disappear. Lard and shortening. If you're not already stocking up on lard and shortening, it's time to rethink. Cooking oil prices are skyrocketing, and we're already feeling the pinch. Take olive oil, for example. In the UK, prices have soared to over $8 a bottle due to severe droughts in Spain, which produces nearly half of the world's olive oil. It's only a matter of time before we feel that squeeze here in the US. The global demand for shortening is also projected to skyrocket, reaching $25.4 billion by 2030, growing at an annual rate of 18.5%, driven by supply chain issues and high demand. Let's be blunt. Lard and shortening, like Crisco and Armour, are about to become unsung heroes in your pantry. These are powerhouse fats with incredible versatility and a long shelf life, making them ideal for stockpiling. Properly stored, lard and shortening can last a year or more without going rancid, offering reliability in a world where fresh oils are becoming luxuries. Forget the old myths about lard being unhealthy. In reality, lard is rich in monounsaturated fats, similar to olive oil, and doesn't produce harmful oxidation products like many vegetable oils do. With a high smoke point, lard is perfect for high heat cooking, whether you're frying crispy chicken or baking flaky golden biscuits. As more people turn to these fats to stretch their food budgets, the demand will only rise. If you want to stay ahead of the game, add a few tubs of lard and shortening to your cart now. When others are scrambling for overpriced oils, you'll have long-lasting, versatile fats ready to meet all your cooking needs. Real bacon bits. And let's not forget bacon bits. Yes, the real ones, like Hormel, real bacon bits. This isn't just about adding a bit of crunch to your salad. Real bacon bits are packed with protein, flavor, and calories that can elevate a bland meal into something satisfying. Let's be real. Meat prices are out of control. The USDA is already projecting a 5.5% increase in beef prices, and this trend shows no sign of slowing down. Real bacon bits. As we head into 2024, experts project a 5.5% increase in beef prices and a 3.3% hike in poultry costs. And those numbers might be on the conservative side. With inflation continuing to drive grocery bills higher and supply chain issues not going away, having shelf-stable, real meat options like bacon bits could be a lifesaver. Real bacon bits, like Hormel's, pack a flavorful punch in a tiny package, and they're incredibly versatile. You can add them to scrambled eggs, soups, casseroles, mashed potatoes, you name it. In each case, you get a burst of flavor and protein without worrying about fresh meat that'll spoil in a few days. In emergencies, when you're down to basic staples, having real bacon on hand can be a boost for both morale and calories. And the best part? They don't need refrigeration until they're opened, so you won't clog up your precious fridge or freezer space. Remember, when the pandemic first hit, meat shelves were wiped clean, and bacon was one of the first items to disappear. If you think that couldn't happen again, you're betting against your own food security. Imagine if another crisis strikes, whether due to economic downturns, supply chain breakdowns, or inflation. Fresh meat will be the first to vanish, leaving prices sky high, or worse, nothing at all. Real bacon bits can last 6 to 12 months unopened, making them a perfect choice for prepping. Stock up now so you'll have access to real meat flavor when it's needed most. Shelf-stable heavy cream. One of the smartest and most overlooked items you can stockpile is shelf-stable heavy cream. Brands like Nestle Table Cream and Gosner's offer creamy, ready-to-use heavy cream that doesn't need refrigeration, making it perfect for any pantry. In today's market, with dairy prices on an unstoppable climb, this stuff is like liquid gold. Just this past September, the FAO Dairy Price Index jumped by 3.8%, the highest in over a year, and that trend is only continuing. Rising feed costs, labor shortages, and supply chain disruptions are making fresh cream a luxury that's harder to afford and even harder to find. Shelf-stable cream has a long lifespan, months, sometimes up to a year if stored properly. You get all the richness of fresh cream, without the race against the clock. Imagine, while others are stuck with dry, plain meals because they can't store fresh dairy, you'll be making creamy sauces, thick chowders, rich soups, and even whipped cream for desserts. When times are tough, comfort food like creamy pasta or soup can be a massive morale booster. This simple ingredient can turn ordinary pantry staples into a meal that feels indulgent and filling. And let's not forget, dairy shortages were a huge issue in the early days of COVID. Milk, butter, and cream were nearly impossible to find, and prices for the few that remained were through the roof. The current supply chain is still fragile, and any major disruption could wipe fresh cream off the shelves within days. But this shelf-stable heavy cream is made to last. Stock up on a few cans now, and you'll always have high-quality cream ready to go without needing to refrigerate it. You can use it for sauces, coffee, or even homemade whipped cream. Don't wait until it's too late and prices have doubled or shelves are empty. Grab some now and keep your pantry ready. Peanut oil and coconut oil. Let's talk about peanut oil and coconut oil. If you can find brands like Planters for peanut oil or Nutiva for coconut oil, grab them. They're about to become pantry gold. We're in the middle of a global cooking oil crisis, with sunflower oil prices up nearly 57% this year alone. Factors like shortages in Ukraine and Argentina and poor canola harvests have pushed these staple oils out of reach, leaving grocery shelves bare or prices sky high. Peanut and coconut oils are your next best alternatives, offering both affordability and health benefits. Peanut oil, with its high smoke point of 450 degrees Fahrenheit, is excellent for frying, roasting, and sautéing without breaking down or turning rancid. Coconut oil is versatile too. It's great for cooking and baking, and can even work as a butter substitute. It's packed with medium-chain triglycerides, MCTs, known to boost metabolism and provide quick energy. Plus, it has antiviral and antibacterial properties that are useful when health support matters most. Peanut oil also brings health benefits, being rich in heart-healthy monounsaturated fats and vitamin E, an immune-boosting antioxidant. Picture this: A food crisis hits, prices surge, and essentials like oils become scarce. If you're counting on getting these oils later, think again. Delays mean price jumps or empty shelves. Coconut oil can last up to 2 years if stored properly, and peanut oil, unopened, can last a year or more. This makes them ideal for stockpiling, providing stability in a time when other cooking oils are fluctuating in availability and cost. Stocking up on peanut and coconut oils will give your pantry versatility, flavor, and nutritional benefits when other options might become too expensive or unavailable. Act before the end of November. Secure these oils while you can. Otherwise, you risk being left out when everyone else starts scrambling. And that wraps up our list. These 8 grocery essentials are not just items, they're a way to safeguard your household against rising food insecurity and supply chain disruptions. Here's a reality check. Global food prices have surged nearly 30% in the last 2 years, and experts predict another 10 to 15% hike by the end of next year. Essentials like cooking oils and protein sources are already breaking price records due to inflation, labor shortages, and crop failures. Whether it's economic instability, election outcomes, or global turmoil, the time to prepare is now. So, make your list, head to the store, and stock up on these essentials. If things stay steady, you'll have plenty of quality food to enjoy. But if the situation takes a turn, you'll be relieved you planned ahead. Stay smart, stay prepared, and as always, take care of yourself and your loved ones. See you next time.